Welcome to TLC for the Soul podcast, where soul meets spirit. You have entered into sacred space. I'm your host, Tammy Lynn Chambers, and I'm here to help you shine. Now let's get going on this podcast journey. Hello, friends. Hello, and welcome to the podcast. This is a bonus pick a card episode. And so I'm really excited to be bringing this to you today. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. There's going to be background sounds. My son always seems to show up whenever I'm getting ready to record. He starts doing something that's kind of loud. So he's just part of the podcast there in the background. I don't know, talking to somebody on the Discord or something. So everything that's in the podcast, in our sacred circle, is part of our sacred circle. So we're going to set up sacred space for in a minute, but I want to welcome you to the podcast. If you are new, just settle in. This is a pick a card that came up during our March energy forecast, which is 2 episodes back. If you haven't heard that, we were going through the cards of the month and just talking about the monthly energies. And what is in my blind spot came up as a topic for a pick a card. And just in celebration of my new podcasting equipment, which I'm trying out on this episode to see if I really just absolutely love it or not, we are doing this special bonus episode for you today. Returning listeners, thank you so much for joining us again. We're one big happy family here at TLC for the Soul. And, I love to always meet with you and work with you around the sacred circle, the sacred fire. Now, I understand this is quite different, doing a pick a card over a podcast, and I have a twofold reason for doing it this way. One is, why not? Why not do a pick a card on the podcast? Because you don't necessarily have to see the cards in front of you to receive the messages. And to take that a step deeper, I like to work with people on psychic development, people that are, if you're interested, like you may not vibe with that in a minute. We'll talk about, how you want to, the different ways you can listen to this episode. But if you're interested in working on your psychic development, then this is a way to do so. So we're so used to using our eyes. Like, we always hear that saying, like, seeing is believing. Well, with this, I want you to tune into all the subtle things that you can't see because you can't see the cards. So let's get us into sacred space, and then I will share some ideas for how to do that in just a moment. So I was guided to bring out, I don't typically burn a lot of sage, but I was just guided to bring out my sage and just burn a little bit of sage right now. Somehow Mondays is like my saging day. Just all the crazy energies from the weekend and around my home. And I just like to kind of sage the home, over on Mondays just to get myself in a fresh state, because there's so much activity and so much energies happening on Saturday and Sunday. Monday comes around and it's time for me to get back into my spiritual work, doing stuff for you guys, writing and channeling and all that, and working with clients that I just like the house to have a good energetic cleanse. So I'm saging our space right now. So if you want to get yourself into sacred space, whatever that means to you, I know sometimes people just want to get right down to the reading. Like, I just want to get right down to the reading. And they don't realize that everything that happens here from the moment you press play is part of the reading, is part of, the podcast. So I think it's just good practice to realize that the messages from the cards are just as important as what I may be sharing with you now. Okay. Okay, so we're all saged up now. And I'm going to light this candle. So even this is part of the pick a card. The candle is called Home is My Happy Place. So what is home? What is that? What does that mean? What is home is my happy place? Some people it's their physical home. Some people it's a person or another place or a thing. So what is home is my happy place? That is our underarching theme. In addition to what's in my blind spot right now. So as we always say here on the podcast, you choose how you listen to these episodes. If you're new here, you may just want to settle in and see what would a pick a card? What is this all about? This is building on our energies for the month of March, and I am recording this. Happy March on March the 1st. What do we most need to know about what's coming up for us in the near future? And I will ask in a second here when I create this sacred space, if there's any time frames that can be shared with us. The other way to listen is to listen to, obviously it's pick a card, so you're going to get messages. So listening to the metaphors and the meanings and the messages, if there's things about the background noises that are possibly setting you off, maybe that's a sign of something that might need clearing or healing or addressing, or maybe it's a message for you. Hearing a teenager in the background, maybe that's some sort of a message. And the third way to listen is to invite in your own spirit guides and helpers and wisdom keepers and power animals, whoever you work with, to join you in this sacred space to help relay their own messages for you out of this reading, giving you additional insights, showing you in your mind's eye what else might be pertinent for you as you receive these messages. And so hold on, let's just wrap us all. Let's just wrap us all first. Let's take a deep breath. Let's get settled. So I think sometimes people hear psychic development and get a little anxious. What does that mean? So right now I'm wrapping us all in love light and light love. Inviting in the spirit guides who would like to join me to help support me during the delivering of these messages. This morning I had a whole bunch of guides step in and want to support me throughout the day, so they're here now in this circle with us. We have Archangel Nathaniel, we have Master Hilarion, we have Archangel Raphael, we have our spirit guide of the month, the Fiery Lion Shifter. We have Goddess Sophia, representing the Sisterhood of the Rose. And we have Avalon, who's always supporting me. Merlin and the Lady of the Lake. And I just always ask, is that all? And they're like, no, the Arcturians are here too. So, yes, the Arcturians did come in this morning as well. It's a whole big happy family of you guys and guides, and we are all one. We're all one. We're all family. So get settled. I'm going to lay out I'm going to just share with you the cards. I'm not going to be using too many decks here. And we're going to shuffle. I'm going to tell you what the little objects are that you can choose from, and then I'll timestamp the messages for you. So I have my deck, the Labyrinth of Dragonshire deck. I like to use that as a clarifier deck. We also have my deck. So in addition to writing books, and I've got 6 or 7 books out there now published, and you can read them for free over on Smashwords. If this is the first time that you're here on the podcast, all those links are in the show notes. But I also design and create oracle decks and no, I haven't done a tarot deck yet, but we'll be using my deck, which is TLC for the Soul deck. And then I'm using the Modern Witch tarot deck. So I think what I'll do is shuffle on the podcast, so not lay them all out first. I'm going to share with you what the objects are, what the groups are, and then when you pick your group and you forward to your messages, we'll shuffle them out there. So if you are group number 1, I have like a fake mustache. I'm going to post these in my Instagram stories. If you are interested in following me on Instagram, that's in the show notes too. But it's a fake mustache. That's group number 1. Group number 2 is a painted rock that has the word grow on it. And group number 3 is a solid perfume from Sage Goddess called Lover's Solid Perfume. It's not available anymore. I went and looked. I've had this like forever. And it really smells awesome. It's just in a little tiny tin, but it's called Lover's Solid Perfume. So get ready to pick your group. Just take a deep breath. What's hidden from me? What's in my blind spot right now that I need to be able to see, or what's coming? So what is in my blind spot that's coming for me? They're saying in the next several months. So that's the time frame they're giving us for these messages. So what is coming in the next several months that I may not see coming? Could be a surprise or something I need to know about. And we're getting a little hint of it here. So group 1, fake mustache. Group 2, the grow stone. And group 3, the Lover's Solid Perfume. So I'm going to go ahead and start now with group 1. And shuffle these cards out. Alright, so let's see how many cards they want to give us. I'm going to start with the tarot deck. You're the mustache group. Let's see what is in your blind spot. What do you need to know about right now? Okay, got one. I'm going to lay them all out, and then I'll share the messages. So be thinking about, be listening. This is using your clairaudience skills, using your clairvoyance. You have to tap into, just like somebody who loses one of their sights and the other sights strengthen. I'm kind of forcing you right now to use your psychic sights and stuff to help you with this reading because you can't see the cards. Okay, so I'm using my deck. What's hidden? What's in group 1's blind spot? Something they need to know about. Oh, nice. And then a clarifying card from my dragons. Nope, there he wants to be called Dragons Labyrinth of Dragonshire. It keeps wanting to be called Dragons of Lancashire. All right, we've got 4 cards for you guys. So the number 4 is significant. Don't go Google that now. Just mentally note down. Or if you want to take notes, jot down the number 4. Okay, so the cards you got are the Queen of Cups, Oneness, which is card number 20, Divine Intervention, which is card number 19, and Healing is happening within you. Allow. So what is in your blind spot, and what does this have to do with these cards? I'm going to channel in these messages now from the guides that are here, from your guides. So this is all about emotional healing, and you're being applauded for all the work that you've done around healing your emotions around loss and the desire for things that haven't come into fruition yet. Things that you've been waiting for quite some time now. Some of you longer than others, they're saying. And it's important to know that, and you've felt it this whole time, but sometimes you're just not sure that you are divinely supported this entire time. all the way from the beginning of when you first realized you wanted this thing or this person or this, manifestation, whatever it might be, this job or this career change, whatever it is, you've been fully supported the whole entire time, even through the crappy, messy parts when you thought no one else was there. And you've somehow through all of that realized that you are the creator of your own reality, and that it was so important for you to go through the things that you did, because in doing so you did realize, like, hey, it isn't just me out here all by myself. It is spirit guides and soul family and source and others working in the background to help make my dreams come true. And that is the healing that's happening. And what's going to happen is this message is further going to cement that in your psyche, and it's going to open up your crown chakra even more. So in addition to just relaying these messages, when I say that healing is going to happen and I say something like your crown chakra is going to open even more, that is me as the master healer. And it's not necessarily me, but the healing's coming through me. We have Master Hilarion here. We have Archangel Raphael. We have the Arcturians, who are master healers. I do work with them as a master healer. We have very healing guides here. So when I say your crown is going to open again, that is an activation for your crown to be cleansed, cleared, and expanded through the divine intervention of the light language coming through my voice. It's going to, say that. So I'm just the conduit for these healing energies. So that's bringing up fear and kind of trepidation in some people. Like, what does that mean? My crown is going to open up. And so when your crown gets wider, you bring in more spiritual power, more spiritual energy. You're able to tap in more to your higher self and your guides. And you start to come into that feeling of oneness. And the other way to do that, of course, is daily meditation. So what is in your blind spot? Blind spot is things that you could do right now to improve your psychic awareness even more, to help you on your journey, to help you on your path. It's something you've been asking for. It's something you've been wanting, is the ability to tap in at a deeper level. But the problem is, it's not really a problem. It shouldn't be called a problem. The conundrum is you put so much pressure on yourself to have that, enhanced psychic powers, that it's kind of all the fun has been taken out of the experience. So yes, you've done a lot of work, and now you're getting like an upgrade. So this is like what's in your blind spot. You're getting an upgrade to enhance capabilities because of all of the work you've put in, because of the integrity that you've shown, being able to handle yourself in a way that, Spirit recognizes and acknowledges. And when we are able to do that, when we are able to live our lives in integrity, be true to ourselves, be true to others, realize we are all one, start to live by, spiritual principles. I wouldn't hurt others. I wouldn't do anything to harm anyone. I'm just here to help. I'm here to serve. When you start to look at things from that perspective, then Spirit's like, okay, we can kind of, quote unquote, trust you to have more advanced spiritual powers and psychic vision, and be able to open up to higher realms that you wouldn't necessarily be able to open up to before. Because it does take a level of integrity to have an advanced spiritual power, because with advanced spiritual power comes advanced ways of co-creating and manifesting. And if you're not in your integrity, and you're not here to support the best and highest good or best and highest outcomes of all involved, that's not what the light wants you to do with your spiritual gifts. So you're being commended on all the work you've put in. And you're just being asked to relax and let it happen over time. over the next several months with all of the resurrection and renewal energy coming in. Especially in April, they're saying, whether you follow a quote unquote organized religion or not, it's just the month of renewal and rebirth and resurrection on so many different levels. And you are going to see like a birthing of some new capabilities. But the mustache comes into play because, you're just being asked to don't focus on it so much, and it'll just naturally happen. Just know that it's coming. Be excited about it. Be wondering, what does that even mean? If you're interested in kind of what some advanced spiritual power might be, I do have a podcast episode. I did it, I think, at the end of January. Just scroll back, and it's so easy to find these things in the podcast episodes. Just scroll back a little bit. It's called Stigmata and New World Spiritual Powers. And we've got a little advanced teaching there on some different ones. And of course, you can research, if there's others that you might be interested in. If you are opening up to them, then obviously Spirit is going to start showing you in different ways what those, might be for you. But I'm calling that episode out for a reason, because that episode does speak about stigmata, and then it also speaks about playing with telekinesis. And we talk about how to do that in a way that's kind of fun and like a fun game. Although I haven't had a chance to practice it yet. But anyway, so that is, I'm just asking if there's anything else they want to share. No, they're saying that's all. Just have fun with this. It's really cool. I'm really excited for you. And it's all because of all the work that you've done. So this is a blessing, they're saying. So just relax and enjoy it. So thank you so much, Group 1, for joining me. If you're called to any of the other groups, please continue to listen on. Otherwise, we will see you again in the next podcast episode. Take care. Hello, Group 2. Hello. You chose the painted rock with the word grow on it. Let me just get a quick sip of water. Okay, so we're going to shuffle out your cards. Let's see what tarot cards you got. All right, what does Group 2 need to know? What is in their blind spot? What's going to be happening for them over the next couple of months that they need to be aware of? Oh, holy smokes. Well, that is a lot of cards. Let's see which ones they want me to take. These 3. 3 tarot cards. Now my deck is TLC for the soul. And it is a windy, 30 mile per hour wind day. It sounds very crazy. And the dog is barking. So the dog is acknowledging winds. So I think winds of change is part of your reading. So let's just remember to tap into wind. Got one card here. And from my other deck, Labyrinth of Dragonshire. Oh, Group 1 got this card too. Well, you got 2 cards. All right, so let's look at your tarot cards. You got the 4 of Wands, the Queen of Cups, interesting, and the World in reverse. Now, the way I read reversals is I read them as exclamation points, meaning the cards that are reversed are the ones that are the most, the ones that are to be focused on the most, the highlight of the message are the ones that are in reverse. So this is the World in this case. And then the oracle cards you got are Peace, number 5, and it has a little peace dove on it. And the other 2 cards from the other deck are You're Creating Your Own Reality Right Now, Watch Out, card number 11. And it's like a compass on the front of the card. These are just hand-drawn, these. And then the other one has an H on the front with a lot of spirals, so healing spirals. And that's card number 10, and it says, Healing is happening within you, allow. So what does Group 2, what does my Grow Painted Rock people need to know about these cards? So the world was the one that we want to focus on first. So that is a cycle coming to an end. So with the beginning of this month now, or whenever you listen to this, because these are timeless readings. I mean, you could happen upon it at another time. These go up on YouTube too, so I know they kind of show up in feeds at different times. But the world is the end of a cycle and the beginning of something new and something fresh. After all the hard work you've put in to work on yourself. So somewhat similar message to group number 1, but there's some differences. So all the hard work that you've put on to develop put on yourself to develop your awareness, your physical abilities, your like your stamina. So this to me feels more physically focused. Group number 1 was a little bit more psychically focused. But this is a lot of work you've been doing on your physical body. Since Samhain, they're saying that you've had some sort of a intention to improve your physical well-being, your stamina, your endurance, your muscle power, just the power of your body, your physical body. And because you're preparing for something. Okay, I love this. I know where this is going. You're preparing for something. So I don't know what reading it was, which podcast it was, where I talked about self-love. It was something in February for self-love. But it was like, treat yourself as if you're getting ready to go out on a hot date. Like, would you do your hair? So this is just every day. So what can you do for self-love? And you've been incorporating a lot of these self-love things. You've been like doing your hair. You've been putting a little makeup on. As if you're a man. I mean, if you're a woman, if you're a man, maybe too. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. But you've been doing things to improve your physical well-being. And your kind of underarching goal, you didn't really realize it was your underarching goal, except it could come up every now and then and talk about it like you would hear it in something like my podcast or, somewhere else. Underarching goal was like, someone's coming, or I want to meet somebody, or I'm ready for a new relationship. I'm ready for a new love. But I just, back then you were kind of like, I just don't feel like I look my best. I feel like if I met somebody who was possibly maybe younger than me, that, maybe I couldn't, maybe I wouldn't have the stamina to keep up with that person. And this doesn't have to be romantic. This could be like, it could be anybody, it could be friend, whatever. But, maybe I couldn't keep up with that person because, maybe they have a lot of physical prowess and maybe I'm not there yet. Like maybe my endurance isn't up, or maybe there's something about my physical body that I've been working to improve. And so you've been acknowledged for all the efforts that you've been making there, because this person, this relationship is coming. It's coming, but you have to kind of... So let's just wrap up. So they want to acknowledge that all is part of the healing is happening within you allow. So they don't want you to stop doing what you're doing. They want you to keep improving on your physical health and your physical well-being. Number 1, because it supports and benefits you. But number 2, because it's going to just make you feel better about yourself. And that is going to be what draws in this, one of the things, it's not the only thing, but it's going to be one of the things that helps you feel more confident. So when that person, that friend, that partner, that, hot date or whatever shows up, you're going to feel really confident about being able to step out with them and feel in your power and feel like, yeah, this is really cool. I deserve this and I can keep up with this person. I'm not like tired and having to go lay down after, a night on the town. So this is a whole, you're creating your own reality right now. Watch out. So when I said that, did you go into fear? When I said this person's coming, am I going to be able to keep up with this person? You know who it is. Like the blind spot is not the person, because the person is someone you've been manifesting. Like I said, it's a friend, a partner, a relative maybe coming back into your life. Like it's not a mystery, like who's coming. That is something, it's very well known to you, because you can't manifest something without knowing necessarily what you're manifesting. So, and this is someone you've been manifesting way far longer than Samhain, they're saying. Like this is someone that's been manifesting, some of you for years now, some of you for a lifetime. This is like, for some of you it is the one, your soulmate who's coming. And because I say that, they don't want you to go into fear about when are they coming, when am I going to hear from this person, when are they going to drop into my reality, all of that stuff. Like, they want you to stay in your peace and stay in your power, which is this peace card. Because they're going to come no matter what. This Four of Wands card is and the little card that says you're creating your own reality right now, watch out. They're coming towards you no matter what. The point of this group number 2, though, is don't stop doing what you're doing just because you know they're coming soon. Like, don't freak out and get out of your peace and get out of your, step out of your peaceful zone and, like, start getting anxious about how all that's going to happen and forget about how much work you've already done on yourself and how you need to maintain that, or maybe even step it up a little bit more now that you're starting to feel better. You have more endurance, you have more power. Now maybe you can work to kind of upgrade your little fitness routine just a little bit more. And in the March energy forecast, if you have not heard that yet, you can scroll back a couple of episodes in the podcast, or it's all there on the YouTube playlist, and listen to that, because there's a lot of messages in there about raising the bar a little bit higher in terms of yourself and the things that you're capable of. So let me just see if there's anything else I want to share with you. They're saying that is all. So this is just a big confirmation for you that your miracle has basically arrived. Like, it's been worked on behind the scenes, this world card. It's haven't been while you were there working on yourself this whole time. Ow. Oh my God, I got such sharp pain in my solar plexus. Okay, you guys, do not freak out and go into fear. That was like almost somebody stabbing me with a knife in my stomach. Okay, it's like taking my breath away. So you guys need to just chill out. Stay especially with your spiritual practice. Do not panic. Just take it slow. Okay, one day at a time. The person will come when it's meant for them to come. They are being guided. The other party in this situation is being divinely guided about when they are to show up in your life, okay? It's not they're just on a whim, like, randomly deciding. This other person is ready to show up in your life, and they are being divinely guided as to when they're supposed to reach out to you. I'm not going to say how it's going to happen and all that. It's different for everybody. So all that's being taken care of. So don't freak out. Please don't stab me in the gut again. Gosh, Spirit, that was like really harsh. They are coming. So I just want you to up your meditation practice if you have to stay in balance, because the anticipation, I want you to be I too, because I'm excited for you, but they want you to be anticipatory, but not step out of your power, which means don't give your power away to the situation. Like, get excited because this relationship or this person is on its way very, very, very soon, but don't drop everything, all the good stuff you've already attained, just because you can't focus because they're coming and you're like super excited. So they're saying that is all. I do want to know, I want to know what this grow stone had to do about this. Oh, it's just all about your growth. Okay, got it. Like how far you've grown since Fallon. All right, you guys, that's all the messages we have for group 2. I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you had another group that you were guided to listen to, you can move to that one now. And if not, I will see you again in the next podcast episode. Take care. All right, group 3, hello. You chose the Lovers. Oh, and just as I said that, we're at 33 minutes and 33 seconds of the podcast, so that's significant. 33. You chose the Lovers Solid Perfume, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle your cards out. What does group 3 need to know? What's in their blind spot? What's coming that they just need some confirmation, or they can't really see yet what it is? And these readings seem to build on one another. Got one card. So group 2 kind of was a little bit of a different message than group 1, but relatively similar. Okay, this TLC for the Soul deck is the Oracle deck. Oh, see, that's the same card as group 2. And then the Labyrinth of Dragonshire deck. What is group 3? What does my Lover's Perfume people need to know about? 2 oracle cards. So we got the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So the way I read reverse cards is I read them as more of like an exclamation point, meaning it's the thing that's the highlight of the reading. I don't read like alternate meanings into reversals. So 7 of Pentacles. You got the Peace card with a peace dove on it. And the other 2 oracle cards you got are You Can Do Anything, Now Get Going. And relief is being offered. Do you accept it? So let me just take a sip of water. I kind of want to know first what this has to do with the Lover's solid perfume, because to me the cards that are here have nothing to do with love necessarily. So what is with the Lover's solid perfume? Can do anything, get going, relief is being offered. So this is more about, okay, I know where this is going. So group 3, I have to be like tough love with you, okay? So you are the group that I was talking a lot to in the March energy forecast. You are the group that's been a little bit, been being gentle with yourself for quite some time now, and just really have so many goals and dreams and aspirations. And it's funny because I don't know, I just heard this morning, so if you're listening to this when it drops, you may be able to find it, but Amanda Ellis on her Instagram put this out this morning, like it's time to get yourself back out there, was kind of the topic of her video for today. And this is kind of where you're at. So you've been spending a lot of gentle time, doing a lot of healing work and inner work, and really tending to yourself and really being gentle with yourself, and you're really being commended for that. So I do want to say that the guides that are here, your personal guides, are commending you for all the work that you've put in. And now with March and over the next couple of months, you're being guided to get yourself back out there again, and whatever that means to you. So the 7 of Pentacles was kind of in reverse, saying like you have all these goals and you have all these dreams, but you're just, the person on this card has like all these pentacles on plants, and she's got a watering can, and she's just kind of staring at them all. And that's the thing, is like you have all these things, but you haven't really taken any like little to no action, they're saying, on any of them. And we have been in the winter parts of the year, and we had the winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere, and we were in the darker part of the year, and even January and February still kind of felt like 2020, and it feels more like 2021 is officially started with March for whatever strange reason. Well, and it's because the astrological calendar or wheel, or it's more of a wheel than a calendar, but Aries season starts, in March, and the spring equinox is in March, and we have a really significant some astrological alignments and transits coming up in March that are all here to push us all forward. But you guys especially have been they're saying lackadaisical about your goals and your manifestations, because nothing has been holding you back here but you. You've kind of been in this dreamy state about like, well, I want to get a lot of these things done. And you've been like in this loving, self-loving state, but it's time to come out of that now. It's time to come out of that. And this is, acknowledgement for everything you've done to become more peaceful. Because I think you had to go in this kind of hibernation state to get out of some of the stress and anxiety you've been feeling about kind of old ways of life, like pre-pandemic or whatever. So you're being commended for that. But now they're saying, things are starting to open back up again. Some parts of the world more so than others right now. But by the summertime, everything is going to be, they're saying like jumping, jumping and jiving, whatever that means. And so it's time for you to get yourself ready to be ready for that. So over the next couple of months, it's going to be time to like dust off all those goals, even do some spring cleaning around your home. Get your home ready to welcome in new energies. Get your physical self ready to welcome in new energies. If that's like a freshen up your look or your wardrobe or your hairstyle or whatever it is, I don't know. It's different for everybody. It's time to get ready to be ready, because the last card is relief is being offered. Do you accept it? And all you have to say is yes. And whatever that means to you, whatever that relief is, whatever that divine intervention is that you need, is going to come to you just because you've said, I accept this divine assistance. It's not coming from me. It's coming from Source as a gift to you for all the hard work that you've done. And now it's just keep saying it's time. It's time to get back out there. And this period that you're being gifted with over the next couple of months is to get yourself ready to be ready for all the new that's going to start popping off. For you, it sounds like come the June, July time frame is when a lot of these manifestations that you've been wanting, if you can just start putting a little bit more, like figure out the ones you really want, focus on those, and let's, discard the ones you don't want anymore. Be very clear with the universe, with Source, the angels, like which ones you are still interested in and which ones no longer resonate with you, so that they know how to help you and which ones you're still working towards. This is very important. You're the co-creator of your reality. It doesn't just happen to you, it happens for you. But nothing happens if you, or fate just steps in and does kind of whatever its whim is with you if you are not clear about your goals and intentions. And it sounds like it looks like, based on the cards, you have very clear goals and intentions. You just kind of set them aside for a while to do this healing work. So this is your message that that hibernation time is over. It's coming to an end. You can step out as soon as you're ready to step out, they're saying, and get going and start, paying attention to the divine, the synchronicities and the opportunities that start flowing your way over the next couple of months, which will ultimately lead you to manifesting these things that you desire into your reality over the summer months. So they're saying that is all, Group 3. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and I'm excited for you and all of the great things that you're going to be manifesting. And we will see you again in the next podcast episode. Take care. Thank you for listening to this podcast. It has been brought to you by the Bringers of the Light, an etheric group of higher light beings focused on service to Gaia, humanity, and the self as it pertains to the spiritual journey. So they are here to support you on your path to love and to working with others. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care.